Nestled deep within the Romanian countryside, the Tanacu Monastery stood as a beacon of faith. Its walls, weathered by time, held centuries of prayers and secrets. The surrounding forest pressed close, a sea of dark trees and whispering leaves. Few dared to venture near. Those who did spoke of strange occurrences, cold spots, and disembodied whispers. The monastery was a place of peace, but also one of palpable dread. The air hung heavy with the scent of incense and the weight of countless prayers. It was a place where the veil between worlds felt thin, where the echoes of the past mingled with the anxieties of the present. Irina Cornici, a young woman with haunted eyes, sought refuge within the monastery's walls. Orphaned at a young age, she carried the weight of a difficult past. Life had dealt her a cruel hand, leaving her vulnerable and alone. She found solace in her faith, seeking comfort in prayer and the company of nuns. But her demeanor soon changed. Laughter turned to silence. Her once bright eyes grew distant, clouded with a fear she couldn't name. The nuns, accustomed to peace and tranquility, were unsettled. Something was amiss with Irina. Something dark had taken root in her soul. Irina's behavior became increasingly erratic. She spoke in hushed, frantic whispers, her words a chilling torrent of paranoia and delusion. Her once gentle touch turned violent, lashing out at those who dared to come close. The nuns watched in terror as Irina contorted and thrashed, her screams echoing through the hallowed halls. She spoke in languages she didn't know, her voice guttural and distorted, as if another being spoke through her. The nuns, steeped in centuries of religious tradition, feared the worst. Irina, they believed, was possessed. Desperate for answers, the nuns sought help outside the monastery walls. A psychiatrist was summoned, his skepticism evident as he examined Irina. He spoke of schizophrenia, of a mind grappling with unseen demons. His diagnosis, however, did little to quell the fear that gripped the monastery. The nuns, clinging to their faith, saw more than mental illness in Irina's torment. They saw the unmistakable mark of evil, a malevolent force that medicine couldn't touch. The stage was set for a terrifying showdown between faith and reason, between the world of the living and the unseen horrors that lurked beyond. The monastery's ancient walls seemed to close in, trapping the air with a suffocating sense of dread. The very stones seemed to whisper of the countless battles fought within these hallowed grounds, battles between light and darkness, good and evil. The nuns, armed with rosaries and prayers, gathered around Irina. Their faces were etched with concern and determination, each prayer a lifeline thrown into the abyss, hoping to pull Irina back from the brink. Father Daniel, his face a mask of grim determination, prepared for the harrowing ritual. His hands trembled slightly as he held the ancient texts, knowing the gravity of the task ahead. The exorcism had begun. The air crackled with tension as Latin incantations filled the room, each syllable a weapon against the darkness that held Irina captive. The sacred words seemed to shimmer in the air, battling the unseen forces that gripped her soul. The nuns chanted in unison, their voices rising and falling in a desperate plea for salvation. Their chants were a symphony of hope and despair, echoing through the ancient halls. Irina, her body racked with convulsions, became a conduit for terror. Her eyes, once filled with life, now reflected the torment of her soul, a silent scream for deliverance. Her screams, filled with unimaginable pain and fury, seemed to claw at the very fabric of the monastery, a chilling testament to the battle raging within her soul. Each cry was a stark reminder of the evil they were fighting, a darkness that refused to let go. Days turned into nights as the exorcism dragged on. The relentless struggle took its toll on everyone involved, their faith and resolve tested to the limits. Irina, weak and emaciated, clung to life, her body a battleground for a war between heaven and hell. Her spirit, though battered, refused to surrender, a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. Silence descended upon the monastery. The exorcism had reached its tragic conclusion. Irina Cornici, The troubled young woman who sought solace within the monastery walls was dead. The news of her demise spread like wildfire, sending shockwaves through the tranquil Romanian countryside. The idyllic image of the Tanacu Monastery, once a beacon of faith, was forever shattered. The eyes of the world turned to the remote monastery, their gaze heavy with judgment and suspicion. The authorities, alerted to the unorthodox and deadly ritual, launched an investigation. Father Daniel and 4 nuns were arrested, charged with manslaughter. The trial was a media frenzy, with accusations of fanaticism and abuse hurled like stones. The world watched in horror as the details of Irina's final days unfolded, painting a grim picture of suffering and misguided faith. Even in death, Irina Cornici's presence lingered at Tanacu. Whispers of strange occurrences and unexplained phenomena filled the air, casting a long shadow over the monastery's already tarnished reputation. Locals, their voices hushed with fear and superstition, spoke of seeing Irina's ghostly figure wandering the monastery grounds. They claimed to hear her agonizing screams echoing through the night, a chilling reminder of the horrors she endured within those walls. Objects moved inexplicably, lights flickered, and whispers seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. Was it the residue of the powerful forces unleashed during the exorcism? Or was it the tormented spirit of Irina Cornici, seeking retribution for her agonizing end? The Tanacu Exorcism ignited a firestorm of debate that raged far beyond the confines of the Romanian countryside. This small, seemingly isolated event captured the attention of people worldwide, drawing in media, scholars, and the general public alike. It forced the world to confront a chilling question. Was Irina Cornici truly possessed by an evil entity, as Father Daniel and the nuns fervently believed? Their conviction was unwavering, rooted deeply in their faith and the traditions of their community. Or was she, as the psychiatrist had diagnosed, a young woman tragically failed by a system ill-equipped to address the complexities of mental illness? The medical community argued that her symptoms were indicative of a severe psychological disorder, one that required compassionate care and modern treatment. The lines between faith and reason blurred, leaving a chasm of uncertainty in their wake. This ambiguity only deepened the divide between those who saw the exorcism as a necessary spiritual intervention, and those who viewed it as a tragic consequence of ignorance. The debate raged on, fueled by passionate arguments from both sides. Families, friends, and even strangers found themselves embroiled in heated discussions, each side presenting their evidence and personal beliefs with fervor. Believers pointed to the inexplicable events surrounding Irina's possession, such as her sudden outbursts and the strange occurrences that seemed to defy logical explanation. The uncanny occurrences during the exorcism, which included her speaking in tongues and exhibiting superhuman strength, and the unsettling reports that plagued the monastery after her death. These reports included sightings of apparitions and unexplained noises that many took as signs of lingering spiritual unrest. Skeptics, however, saw a tragic misdiagnosis, a failure to recognize and treat a serious mental health condition. They argued that Irina's symptoms were consistent with known psychiatric disorders. A young woman failed by a system that prioritized religious dogma over scientific evidence. This perspective highlighted the urgent need for better mental health care and the dangers of allowing superstition to override medical judgment. Years have passed since the harrowing events at Tanacu Monastery, but the story of Irina Cornici's tragic demise continues to haunt the collective consciousness. The eerie silence that now envelops the monastery is a stark contrast to the turmoil that once echoed through its halls. The monastery, once a place of solace and prayer, has become a symbol of fear and mystery. Its walls, which once witnessed the devout prayers of monks, now stand as silent sentinels to a dark chapter in history. It stands as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of faith. The shadows that play upon its crumbling walls seem to whisper secrets of the past, secrets that many wish to forget but cannot. The debate over possession versus mental illness remains unresolved, a topic that continues to spark intense discussions and divide opinions. Each side clinging to their beliefs with unwavering conviction. Some see Irina as a victim of a tragic misunderstanding, while others believe she was truly possessed, her fate sealed by forces beyond comprehension. But one thing is certain, the legacy of the Tanacu Exorcism extends far beyond the crumbling walls of the monastery. It has left an indelible mark on the community and beyond, a story that refuses to fade into obscurity. It serves as a cautionary tale, a grim reminder of the consequences of unchecked beliefs and the dangers of religious extremism. It underscores the importance of seeking understanding in the face of the unknown, urging us to question and to learn, rather than to blindly follow. And as the years turn into decades, the story of Irina Cornici will continue to be told, whispered in hushed tones, a chilling testament to the enduring power of belief and the haunting mysteries that continue to plague the human experience. The tale of Tanacu is not just a story of the past, but a reflection on the present and a warning for the future. It reminds us that the line between faith and fanaticism is thin, and the consequences of crossing it can be devastating. The mystery of Tanacu endures, a haunting echo through time.